Dfinity internet computer rug pull tanks 95%. That's the question we're gonna ask today. Is it a rug pull? Because it just dropped 95% in value from ICO. What are people gonna think about this? What do you think about it? We're gonna try to answer what's going on with ICP. So for those of you who bought in at the all-time highs, this video is not gonna be pretty for you because I'm gonna give you straight facts. I did quite a bit of research and I'm taking a look at what people are saying, what analysis are saying about whether ICP is a rug pull. My mentor from IM Academy also recommended ICP and a bunch of people bought in and they're losing money right now. So we're just all watching on ICP trying to confirm, is this a rug pull? Because if it is, then we're all gonna get out. I use the term we very loosely because they bought into it, I didn't buy into it. I was looking at holochain instead, but it has also tanked because Bitcoin tanked, bringing along with it the entire alt market. If you wanna know more about holochain, then check it out there because I have a full guide for you. But other than that, if you haven't already, please smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. Now let's jump into ICP. So if you haven't watched this video yet, 50 million ICP tokens on the move after Dfinity drops 90%. I'm gonna drop this in the description and the pinned comments below, so check it out because I found it to be a very educating and informing video on what really happened. And I'm also gonna leave this review here, why is Dfinity's ICP token down 95% by CoinDesk, in the pinned comments and the description below. This video by CoinDesk is just really for giggles because I feel like they had no idea what they were talking about. They're journalists and they're well paid, but they can't do research. So if you want another job, then just go show them that you're a better journalist than them because they had no idea what they're talking about. They were talking out of their holes. Honestly, I've just never seen a more poorly researched video. To give a short recap of the first video, it really mentioned that ICP hit an all-time high of $620 near the start of the ICO, and now it's trading around $40. Last I checked, I was trading around 45 or something around there. And the video said that the Dfinity team sold around 90 million ICP tokens since the Genesis event, and more supply coming into circulation, as we know, will drive price down. And they're saying how, and I agree with them, that tokenomics is really a problem because it's so hard to understand. I found the tokenomics a little weird too, which is one of the factors that contributed to me staying away. But as we know, like the CoinDesk mentioned, that they actually got right, that this project has quite a few investors, VCs, people that got in early and that can benefit a lot from selling after the tokens were reaching the all-time high. They had enough incentive to take profit and move on. I actually did a review on Dfinity internet computer and you can find that here, but I was completely hyped about the project when I read through the white paper. It just didn't feel right to my gut, which is very important when investing. As I said in that video, it was full of proofs and mathematical theorems that was very complex and difficult to understand. The best resource that I found on knowing what they actually did was found in the FAQs, or the frequently asked questions, which seemed a little bit odd because I expect that if I'm reading the white paper, the best white papers that I read were ones that were able to explain the concept in a very simple manner that anyone could understand. That wasn't the case for Dfinity or ICP. I'm a software developer and what I read was going over my head, so I felt that what was going on was that there was a lot that's being hidden from me. I can tell you that the system uses a randomness beacon that made it fault tolerant and secure, but the mathematical theorems and the proofs made it very difficult to understand and I didn't really know how it worked other than that. But what I read from the FAQs were that basically ICP had a bunch of independent data centers around the world that combines together to have a cluster of computing power that will allow customers to run software on top of Dfinity or internet computer. And ICP had minimum standards for nodes to run. Apparently I found out from the comments in my last video, thanks to all those who commented, that you can stake ICP as an individual, but don't ask me how because I don't own ICP and I've never staked ICP before, so I wouldn't know. So actually, let's take a moment and take a look at the tokenomics because the resource that I found is actually really interesting. I want to go over it with you. I'm going to drop this article in the pinned comments below, but looking at this article, it's very interesting because at the ICP token distribution at launch, there was 26% circulating supply, which consists of the community airdrop, which is 0.8%, the initial community and developer grants, which is 0.48%, and the seed donations, which is 24.72%. So this is accessible to the public. I really leave 74% because 74 plus 26 means 100. Leave 74% that is really for people who really got in really early. I mean, the Dfinity Foundation has 23.86%, the advisors and third party 2.4%, members have 18%, Internet Computer Association 4.26%, early contributors 9.5%, strategic investors 7%, strategic partnerships 3.79%, and node operators 0.22%. So the node operators, who is the foundation for you, is getting 0.22%, whereas everybody else gets this big chunk. That just didn't feel right to me. Now, ICP will be used for three purposes: incentive and enable the governance model, provide validators with rewards, which I think is at 0.22%, and provide a stablecoin called Cycles. So the stablecoin is produced from ICPs and will have burn mechanisms to fuel computation for the internet computer. So what it does is the protocol will pay ICP to the data centers who are hosting the applications and gets that 0.22%. I think the data center will then sell the ICP to operators, people who needs the hosting, and then the operators will convert the ICP into Cycles, which is the stablecoin, which is then paid or burned to use the data center's computing power to host your application. That's how I think it works. I'm going to drop this article, the crypto briefing, into the pinned comments as well. Make sure you read this because it talks about the loopholes in the Dfinity's foundation's plans. Take a couple minutes and talk about the tokenomics loopholes. So ICP has dropped from a high, I just checked, of $700 to as low as $28.53 reported by CoinGecko. So it dropped 95% from a high in the space of a few weeks. And that raised suspicions that Dfinity Foundation has pulled crypto's biggest rug pull. The team has denied allegations, but this has caused serious brand damage as a promising decentralized ecosystem. In that coin briefing article, Arkham has recently published a report on the internet computer token that traced the flow of tokens from the foundation to the exchanges without any public correspondence of ICP distribution from the team. The early seed investment round in 2017 was open to the public for 0.03 cents per ICP, and the team raised $3.9 million from investors. So these investors were allotted a quarter of the supply that came with a 12-month vesting period. Many of the project's investors began cashing in gains from between 100x and 10,000x from investments they have made before 2018. So the article mentioned that the supply allocated to the Dfinity Foundation, its advisors, team members, and Internet Computer Association was not subject to a similar vesting schedule. So Arkham alleges that Dfinity has transferred 18 million ICP tokens, worth $3.6 billion to exchanges from its treasury in the months of May and June. Dominic Williams has denied all allegations that the founders dumped tokens and carried out a rug pull. Will a criminal with all the evidence ever admit that they've done the crime? I mean, come on. Price action raises serious suspicions about this because there's just so much incentives to sell. Hey guys, I just want to take a quick pause to show you how I learned about cryptos. When I didn't know anything about cryptos, I got started with IM Academy. And there are some people that don't like them, but there's a lot of people that like them. And you can see here on my screen that they have hours upon hours of lives. They actually have the instructor come on a live session with you to teach you about indicators and how to trade and how to read the markets, what coin to look at, things like that. See that for some of the days, they actually have like 3 hours, which is actually most of the days, of content, of lives with you. And beyond that, if they don't have lives, you can actually go to the instructors and watch their favorite sessions, and you can see that they record their sessions so that you can learn while they're not having a live with you. Then please send me an email at support@coursehack.club, and I'll see you in IM Academy. Now, the educators at IM Academy are keeping an eye on ICP because they recommended it, and they just want to confirm that if it was a rug pull, then everybody's gonna get the notifications to get out. I want to end this video with a talk about human behavior. Let's use that example. 0.03 cents per ICP with an initial investment of $3.9 million and at 100x. Well, that is $390 million. And if you sold at 10,000x, well, that $3.9 million just turned into $39 billion. That's a huge win. And then you take that money and then you go on and buy Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's in dip right now around the 30 to 35,000 zone. It's a really good buy. If you were in that position, would you sell out? Knowing that nobody knew and knowing that they can't come and find you if you sold out and made a bunch of money. Honestly, guys, I'm not against ICP. Neither am I for it. I don't have an opinion about it. In fact, I just read the white paper and the concept was actually really good. I liked it. But the theorems, the tokenomics, and the marketing gave me a really weird feeling in my gut. And I always trust my gut, which is why I stayed away. I simply don't invest in things that are hard to understand and are complex. I like simple things like AMP. Well, that's not entirely true. There is something that is both complex and very hard to understand. It's woman. I always keep going back. Even though I get screwed over several times, I just keep coming back. There's something wrong with me or something. Well, I think there's been some progress with that. I get screwed less now than I did when I was younger. I think I got better with identifying red flags. Yes, sir. When you see the Chinese Communist parade, it's best to run the other way. Jokes aside, let's talk about that tokenomics. Even with the token burn, with each token burn, it will decrease the circulating supply, which is used by the customer. It's great for ICP holders because decreased supply and increased demand means the prices go up. But 74% of that supply is not circulating supply. The foundation, the investors, the VCs hold that supply and they will wait till public investors exhaust their supply because at that time the price of their ICP tokens will be at the highest. But that's only if internet computer gets adopted and is used heavily. But they can also get a huge payday in the early days. Say when ICP is trading around the all-time highs around $700, I'll take profit. Well, that's how I see it, and that's my own conspiracy theory behind the whole thing. The bottom line is, come on guys, we are 1.5 months into this and we're already seeing this kind of drama. If you're dating anyone for the first 1.5 months and you're seeing this kind of drama, you're gonna be running faster than Usain Bolt in the Olympics unless you're insane. Anyways guys, that's all I have today. This might not be a full review of Dfinity because like I said before, I'm not investing in it. But if you are invested in it and if you have some insight, please drop it down in the comments below. Otherwise, please smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, check out these videos on cryptocurrencies and passive income, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.